Welcome, friends, to my media museum, and in episode 15 of our mixed box 11 of 45 RPM vinyl records. And we're having just a wonderful time here, going through a whole lot of reissues of a lot of 50s, 60s pop songs. And this one I know very well too. You Are My Special Angel by Bobby Helms and the Anita Kerr Singers. I've actually even heard of the Anita Kerr Singers. Well, Anita Kerr anyways. So that's kind of cool. Hit number 7 in October of 1957. So, yep. Just like I said, 50s pop song for sure. Right up the old wife's alley there. She loves that kind of stuff. B-side, song called Fraulein. Now, that one doesn't ring a bell for me, but since it hit number 36 in October 57, quite possible that one would be recognizable to me as well. You see it got the originally released as Decca. So this is a case where our MCA Records licensed a song from Decca and reissued it. So it doesn't really say anything about being a special product or a special release or a re-release, but that little notation there definitely gives it away, which we already knew that this was not the original edition of the song going back to 57. But man, really nice looking copy of that one, and a really cool, kind of generic, kind of plain sleeve, but I like that artwork. I like that layout. It says noted as 1972 down here in the corner for that. So next up, who's your special angel? Well, on Motown, she's the one who really loves you. And I don't know that song. I mean, I know the song, but I don't know it well enough to try and hum it or sing it for you. But Mary Wells did that one. Apparently it hit number 8 in May of 62, according to the notations of the guy that I got this box of vinyl from. And the B-side there is a song called Bye Bye Baby. Bye Bye. Probably should have used that one for the end of the video. But that's interesting. That's dated 1960 there, with 73 being for the Motown Yesteryear series reissue of it. So that song had some age to it at that time as well. But I don't recognize Bye Bye Baby as well as I recognize the title, The One Who Really Loves You. So now we've got a collectible, which we're going to have a whole bunch of these in the next few episodes. So we're going to see quite a few of these. It's going to have different artists on each side. Back-to-back hit series, not necessarily from the same individuals. The Flares doing Foot Stomping Part 1. And that's the A side, saying it hit number 25 in October 1961. But it doesn't ring any bells for me. Foot stomping music. I think that was Grand Funk Railroad that does foot stomping music for me. But the Flares apparently did it earlier than they. Now the B-side, here we go. Just like I was saying, we got Sandy Nelson. Or Nielsen? Nah, probably Nelson, because there's no I in there. So Sandy Nelson doing Teen Beat. And I remember Teen Beat being a magazine that my sister used to read. With all the teen heart throb, you know. But that wasn't me. I'm reading Hit Parader, and she's in there reading Teen Beat. But B-side, being for that one, apparently it hit number 4 on the charts in September of 59. So a lot of 50s and 60s stuff coming up for you here. So might be ringing a lot of bells for some of you around my generation. My generation. Do You Just Know It by Huey Piano Smith and the Clowns. That's interesting. Sounds like something that would possibly be a novelty record. But it hit number 9 in March of 58. And you'll notice this collectibles label is a little different. You know, it's got pink coloring. It's just 2 colors. Not quite as nifty as this one. So I'm not sure which is older. If I had to guess, I'd say this one's older, because it's a little more plain and the other one's a little more spiffed up. But I don't know. I really don't know. And don't you just know it? And the B-side is at least the same artist in this particular case, and High Blood Pressure. I'm betting that's something, you know, with these being Huey Piano Smith, that's definitely going to be something that would might sound like something you would have heard in a saloon back in the old days. I don't know, but very cool. I'm sure somebody out there recognizes it and knows it. And next up, we've got Clarence Henry on Eric Records. Hit number 20 in January of 57. Ain't got no home, ain't got no money. No, I don't know. I don't know that song. There again, Eric Records is one of those labels that catered to the collector's market, the home jukebox market, and it's all reissues. So, no idea what label that was on originally. I don't know Clarence Henry, and Ain't Got No Home, Don't Ring No Bells. So, B-side is Steve Alamino, and doing his song Every Day I Have to Cry. Well, that sounds rather depressing. That sounds more like a country and western song to me. Every day I have to cry, wham, 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 all the way home. Well, maybe it's bluesy. Who knows? But it doesn't have any notations on there for us on that one. And some of these where you've got different artists on either side, they didn't have a lot of hits. They're one-hit wonder kind of things too. So definitely could be something that's fallen into that category. And in some cases, they may not have been necessarily so much a one-hit wonder, but they only hit the charts once. You know, every great song you know didn't necessarily do well in the charts. A lot of songs that they put out as B-sides ended up being the charters rather than the A-sides. If you think of it, it's happened. All right, Frankie Ford, Sea Cruise, hit number 14, March of 1959. And you know, to be quite honest with you, I'm not that old. The 50s is a little bit out of my time period. I like 60s psych, 70s rock, and 80s metal. And I grew up with that 70s rock. That was my time period when I got into rock and roll. It was the early 70s, you know, so I do like a lot of the 50s stuff. I don't have anything against it all. It's just that I wasn't there when the stuff was coming out. So I was all getting it secondhand, kind of like, you know, Gilligan's Island, Brady Bunch, Partridge Family. These are shows I watched in reruns after school. These weren't shows that I was watching as they were coming out at the time. So the memories are a little different. The time periods are a little different. And I'm perfectly aware there's a lot of the audience out there that's coming across these videos that this is ancient history for them. But, you know, music transcends. Doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old the song is. A good tune's a good tune. And I love songs from all eras, and I'm sure you do too. So the B-side of this collectibles reissue is Frankie Ford doing Roberta. And we don't have any notations on there. I don't know anything about it. But notice this. This is interesting with Huey Piano Smith. That definitely rings a bell, doesn't it? We were just looking at a Huey Piano Smith 45 a little bit ago. So, very interesting. We got here one of the old Atlantic Oldies series. And, well, might as well show you that so in case we haven't seen the whole layout of the art there. But here again, we've got one where the sleeve and the vinyl match, which is always nice. Clyde McPhatter, I don't know. If you do, please comment in the comment section. How the heck do you pronounce that one? Oh, Clyde. A Lover's Question. Hit number 6 in October 58, so it should be a fairly well-known song. But I've never heard of Clyde, however you pronounce his last name, or the song A Lover's Question. But it's an old Atlantic Oldie series, and apparently he did good enough to have 2 songs in the charts, because here, Treasure of Love hit number 16 in June of 56. But there again, you know, we're in the 50s, so I do like a lot of that music, but there's a lot of it that I'm not going to be tremendously familiar with either. You know, when I was growing up and we had a rock station, a country station, and a gospel station, and unless you had a really great antenna or a really strong radio, that's all you got. And that rock station, it was catering more towards the 70s rock at the time that I started paying attention to music, and not so much this 50s stuff. So I've gotten some exposure to the 50s music from my childhood, but not as strong as I would like for knowing a lot more information to share with you on these. Silver Spotlight series, okay, and that happened to be Capitol Records that was doing those. You can see the Capitol logo down here at the very bottom here, but it's kind of cool. I love I don't know if it's a 57 Chevy, but it's somewhere along the lines of a 57 Chevy. And the Falcons doing You're So Fine. I don't know that You're So Fine. I don't know. I do think I know a song, You're So Fine. I thought it was a girl band that did that. It says released in March of 59, saying it hit number 17 in June of 59. But this may be an original of a song that got covered later on in the 60s again. A lot of songs, every decade they get covered, you know. I Think We're Alone Now. You know, that song, there is a artist that did that in every decade, and they all hit the charts with it. So, You're So Fine. I know that song, but I just don't associate it with the Falcons. So I'm thinking this is quite possibly an original that got redone later on by another band. Here we got Gene Thomas on the B-side. So here you've even got Capitol in their re-release oldies series, doing different bands on the different sides. And a song called Sometime, which again rings absolutely no memories for me whatsoever. So, but I do like that car, and it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you come back for some more, because we have got quite a few more to share with you. Have a great day. See you again soon.